Welcome back to the best video on YouTube at this current moment. Yeah, that's not a new thing I'm saying, I just had to think of something on the spot. I want to make an escape room today, and before we start on that, just to remind you guys that this is the race to 10,000. It was a joke I originally did where I was placing blocks to see how far it would be until we get to 10,000. This is 2,000 by the way, look how close we are. And then I started joking about what was if there were characters racing across it. Tons of you, quite a few people suggested some. I've added my favorites onto here, so we've got quite a few. Recently we added the tall thin man with pale white eyes, or creature actually, tall thin creature. I quite like his legs. I like designing those were fun. It was hard to get the shapes right. Now they are right. He looks so goofy. He's jumping over Orbulus over there. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling on and let's get in to making an escape room. Wow, I did not sound happy when I said that. Yeah, this video took 2 weeks to make. I was expecting it to take 2 days. So everybody, this will be the size of the escape room. I know it's not very big, is it? I kind of wanted to test myself today. I want to see how much I can do within this small room. There's a lot of space, like we can fit quite a few things in here. Like if I want to get chiseled bookshelves out, I could place those along the edges. I mean, I do have a lot of space to place stuff, and like barrels and all sorts, and I do want to make it look nice too, and I'm wondering if I'll expand it or what I'll do. Really, there isn't too big of a guideline with this. I really should give myself more guidelines in my videos, but it's just so fun going off like the hilt, just imagining what I can do. So I'm just going to design it off the cuff. By the way, these walls don't have to stay the same color. That was just a random block I chose because I'm so cool I don't ever think about anything. We just want to create something, a basic room idea right now, because I don't actually know what it's going to look like, obviously, or where we're gonna go with this. So having details that we can work off is probably a good idea. Then again, I've never really built escape rooms before. I've done puzzle maps, which I hope are kind of similar, but yeah, it's just about testing and seeing what works and what doesn't. We can make it look like an old office interior. It was like really ugly, but they used to use skin tones everywhere because it was warm and colorful. They used to use always on machinery too. It was like machinery, this new and technologically advanced thing would always have like skin tone lines on it. Hey look, we're human too. It's like the most creepy thing. The Jetsons existed, people. Why didn't you pay attention? You could have made it look so cool. And even today, we don't base things off the Jetsons. Do you know what we do base them off? iRobot. Why do we base things off iRobot designs? Like, that movie was designed to look bland, right? I might have gone a little off track. I actually can't speak at the moment. I've just come back from a 9-hour shift at work, so I'm really tired. Wish me luck, people. It's not always the easiest thing in the world, but I'm going to try my hardest to make a good video for you guys this week. That's the fun thing about this too. This is a pretty easy interior. I mean, some builders, I'm not going to say who because I can't actually think of any names on the spot, but some builders will actually just like, they'll build something like this, or they'll talk about how difficult a subject was of building, and it doesn't really make me angry because sometimes people do work at a different pace, but there's sometimes you look at something they made and they say like, this took me 13 hours or this took me 32 hours, and then everybody's like, whoa, that's so amazing, how did they do that? And then I'm a builder and I think, I could have done that in maybe half an hour. Let's say that build over there, right? That's one of the most complicated things I've designed in recent. Took me 2 hours. Building is a really quick thing unless it's got a lot of details that aren't repeated. Like if you see a lot of details that are repeated in a build, chances are it didn't take very long. But if you see a lot of individual details in a build, it probably took longer. So like that there, very quickly made. That there, lots of unique details throughout the whole thing. Took me a week. You see what I mean, right? This is not as complicated as this, and this is not as complicated as this. And this is an abomination that wrecks my world, and I'm thinking about deleting it, but I won't because I'm too emotionally attached to my builds. 1, 2, 3. Looks very lovely. This keeps on showing up, and I don't know what it is in the title that whenever I search up anything, lava chicken comes up, but you know what? I'm not angry. I don't mind lava chicken. Lava chicken. I have a stutter when I say lava chicken. I don't know what makes me say lava chicken like that. It's just, I guess I'm just a weird guy. Sorry for being weird and ruining your day. So I know I didn't ruin your day, I'm just kidding. I know I made your day better because I'm just such a ray of light and sunshine. I make everyone's day better. At least that's what they say in the psych ward. Let me just add some of this in here, and boom. I really like that design, actually. Usually it wouldn't look very nice, but here it does, because it kind of, breaks up the pattern and adds these little black spots into the wall, especially when you're up close. So let's say you spawn in this room and you're told to figure something out. What would be the first things you check? I'll have to give some time to think about this. The words me and think should never be together in any sentences. Only one puzzle only works when the lights are off, and certain things only work when it's on, and there could be a puzzle where you have to turn the light on and off in a certain sequence whilst doing certain actions, although I wouldn't really know what. For whatever reason, I hate lecterns so much. Target blocks are my new favorite block. Look, this doesn't work when you want to power a piston, right? Powering it from behind doesn't work. I really like redstone doors, so this is a big deal for me. Powering like this doesn't work either. And I mean, I've only started doing them recently, so this doesn't work. But target blocks, they will always be connected to from whatever angle. That, I'm guessing that's what makes them so important, that redstone always connects to them. That is incredibly cool, because it means you can power anything with a straight line. Why didn't any redstone YouTuber tell me this? They always talk about target blocks being so cool and direct and indirect usage and all this stuff. Why can't they just say the thingy connects to the thingy and help plebeians like me understand it? Because look, it works! I'm not even kidding. This has taken me so long, it has got dark outside whilst I've been doing it. And this is the working contraption. It's so small, and it doesn't even look as cool as I'd want it to, because it has to do all this weird stuff. I can probably figure out another way of making it look really, really cool, but for now, this is what we've got. Let me show you. You're dark, you're 7, and what that does is it shows a signal strength too high, and this repeater here, which gets a higher signal strength, turns off this comparator, right? And then if we go too low, the other obvious thing happens, and there isn't enough power to power this comparator. It's such a simple system, but it took me hours to figure out, and I finally saw an image online. I was like, oh, that looks kind of simple. Let me see if I can use that. And wow, lo and behold, it actually worked. Man, Google Images, you are my favorite thing in the world. But darn, I wish people on Reddit could explain things in simpler terms, because this did not need a massive explanation. There's probably another way of doing this, a way of compacting it down. But right now, I just need a redstone output. I've got my redstone output, even if it does look a little bit like a snake doing a jiggy dance move. One day into the future. Okay, so I've been working on the next puzzle, and I'm not going to reveal too much, but in here there's a book named Recipe Ideas, and in these ones here there are certain ingredients, and you can use that book to decipher a code, which I won't give you. I'm going to be less and less mysterious about these answers that I'm doing now, because I have to get through this very quickly. And with that code, you can then put it into this system, which I've just designed. I guess I can't really show you the code, but if you put it in here and drop down, this command block activates, which is very, very useful. If it's the wrong thing, it just doesn't go through the hopper, so you don't lose any paper, and you can use this anvil to name it. I mean, obviously, when you actually play it, if you were to play it for the first time, per se, you wouldn't know about the anvil or the paper, and you'd have to figure that out just from the book Recipe Ideas. And I think that's quite interesting, you know? That is quite a unique puzzle. I like that puzzle. I like that puzzle quite a bit. But yeah, then when you do that, what I want to happen is I want this door to open, and it will unlock this room, which I think I'll put a puzzle or two in. And then finally, I will unlock this door back here, and then when you walk through, it will just teleport you away and say, yay, you did it, you won, you're a genius. Because that is what you are if you won this map. You're a genius because of my vast superior intellect to most. My puzzles are almost impossible. You get what I mean, don't you? I had to remove the beginning bit of this next segment because it was glitchy, but the context is that it's just a system where you get compasses and you can use them to figure out a code. This is the system I made to make the puzzle work. It took ages, but yeah, this all works, and it's a bit complicated, so I won't go over everything, but it's a code system that I designed a while ago, and I just improved it again, so it only requires this many command blocks to work. There's probably a way I can do this better and better, but each time I use it, I improve it. Originally there were like 5 or 6 command blocks on the end here, but I've reduced it down to 3, which is very, very good. And there's all this sort of stuff, and it's fairly compact. It is fairly compact. There's probably a way I can make this look better too. I mean, making a command block contraption compact when it's out in the open doesn't really matter so much, but you know, it's fun, it's interesting. There's a lot of command blocks in this thing. I tried to pack them in as tightly as possible, and yeah, the ending is through this door. I removed the exit sign off this door, so this is the exit, and it's clearly like, okay, this is where everything is, let's see. And then when you finally get the button on that door to open it, you go in here and you win. Lazy ending, am I right? the inner workings. See, I hid it. I mean, I didn't hide it. I made it like a Easter egg, or like a fun little fun ending. It feels very Stanley Parable-ish. That'd be fun. I would have put like that'd be funny if I put like something like a stripped oak log here, like that. Then I get a cake and I say, and it's like a celebration thing. That's funny. I like that. I like that a lot. We get a painting out too. Let's do one by one. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice and peaceful. Yep, meditative up there. I gotta stop getting distracted, but yeah, this is the ending. We did it. That being said, this video took me 2 weeks to make. That is crazy. That video there, that took me 1 week. 2 weeks. This is why I don't do command block stuff too often. I always do command block stuff, and then I go, why did that take me so long? That was like 50 hours this week. I mean, this didn't take me 50 hours. This was just me trying to do command block stuff while doing work at the same time. So there was real life complications. But command block stuff always takes forever. And I can't get into a flow state with command blocks, because you start getting into that flow state and then suddenly an error comes up and you're like, what do I do now? It's basically coding. And coding, ladies and gentlemen, is not a fun process. It's fun when you finish it. I'm so happy that I finished this now. But boy, oh boy, is it not fun during the process. Maybe some people do find it fun, you know, like lunatics and sociopaths. But this is just, I'm glad this is done. I'm going to upload it to Planet Minecraft, not the testing world, because that might come at a later date when there's more stuff on here. But this, I'll copy it over into another world, then throw that on Planet Minecraft for you guys to play. Without further ado, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. And, well, I think I've got one thing left to say. Subscribe! No, I'm just kidding. That's not the final thing I say. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye!